The Abyss of Illusions, a tale of substance use and redemption. Sarah was a bright, ambitious college student with dreams of becoming a doctor. She excelled in her studies, balancing a part-time job and an active social life. But as the pressures of academic life began to mount, she found herself turning to substances to cope. It started with prescription painkillers, a way to manage the stress and anxiety that accompanied late-night study sessions. What she thought would be a temporary solution quickly spiraled into something far more dangerous. The first time Sarah felt the euphoric rush of the pills, it was as if a heavy blanket had been lifted from her shoulders. Suddenly, she could study for hours without feeling overwhelmed, and the world around her felt bright and manageable. But with each passing day, she needed more to achieve the same effect. The pills that had once been her lifeline became her shackles, dragging her deeper into the abyss of dependency. As her substance use escalated, Sarah's life began to unravel. She struggled to keep up with her classes, her friendships began to fade, and she lost touch with her family. The once vibrant girl with dreams of healing others now found herself trapped in a cycle of denial and despair. Her world became increasingly isolated, filled with dark corners and whispered lies that convinced her she could handle it all on her own. One evening, after an especially exhausting week, Sarah found herself in a darkened alley behind a club, seeking solace in the familiar embrace of her pills. As she sat on the cold concrete, she felt a sense of despair wash over her. It was there that she met Alex, a former college athlete whose dreams had also been shattered by substance use. He sat beside her, offering her a bottle of water and a listening ear. "Sometimes it feels like you're in an endless tunnel, right?" he said, his voice calm and steady. "But there's a way out. You don't have to go through this alone." Sarah looked at him, surprised by the warmth in his eyes. She hadn't expected someone to understand her pain. They began to talk, and Alex shared his own journey, how he had struggled with addiction and had found his way back through therapy and support groups. His honesty resonated with her, and for the first time, Sarah felt a flicker of hope. With Alex's encouragement, Sarah took the brave step of seeking help. She joined a support group where she met others who shared their stories of struggle and resilience. In this safe space, she began to unpack the layers of her addiction. She learned that substance use disorders were not a reflection of her worth, but rather a manifestation of deeper issues and escape from pain, anxiety, and fear. Through therapy, Sarah discovered healthier coping mechanisms. She began practicing mindfulness, learning to sit with her feelings rather than escaping them. She explored creative outlets like painting and writing, channeling her emotions into art rather than substances. As she painted, the colors would flow onto the canvas, revealing the depths of her turmoil and the beauty of her healing journey. As weeks turned into months, Sarah began to rebuild her life. She reconnected with her family, who had been worried but hopeful for her recovery. The walls that had once closed in on her slowly began to fade, replaced by a sense of empowerment and purpose. One day, standing before her classmates during a class presentation, Sarah shared her journey. With each word, she felt the weight of her past lift. She spoke not just of her struggles, but of her triumphs, how she had found strength in vulnerability and support in community. The applause that followed felt like a new beginning. As she stepped off the stage, Alex approached her, pride shining in his eyes. "You did it, Sarah. You're a warrior," he said. Sarah smiled, knowing that the path of recovery was ongoing, but she had found a way to navigate the darkness. She was no longer defined by her past. Instead, she was a survivor, ready to embrace life with open arms.